Well, the successful countries of the Middle East are only the countries which are based on the Middle Eastern culture, which is tribalism. The Emirates, for example, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, and so forth, each and every one of them is one single tribe, based on one single tribe, which owns the country. Kuwait is Al Sabah. Al is a family. Al Sabah in Kuwait, Al Thani in Qatar, Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi, Al Maktoum in Dubai, and so forth. Saudi Arabia is also a state which is based on one extended family, which is Al Saud. This is the source of the name of Saudi Arabia. However, the founding father of this kingdom, Abdulaziz ibn Saud, the father of today's King Salman and former King Abdullah and Fahd and all those, he actually united tribes by marriage. He married a daughter of the leaders, the daughters of the leaders of many tribes in the Arab Peninsula, in order to create some kind of commitment, in order to make sure that they will never revolt against him. Because their grandchildren, means the sons of their daughters, will be kings or will be in the royal family. So this is how he ensured that all these groups, which were different, which were separate, will be under one umbrella of the royal family by marriage, and this is how it works.
So this phenomenon of tribalism might explain why you have, for example, countries like Afghanistan, that you have 20 different failing states. It's because of the difference of tribes.
Afghanistan has 11 ethnic groups which cannot even speak to each other because they don't have common language, unlike India, for example. You know, India is united only because they have English, not because they speak in any of the Indian languages. Who knows how many hundreds of languages there are in India. But they share only one language, which is English, because of the colonialism. So because of the English, they can run one state in spite of all the differences and divisions inside India. Afghanistan, they don't have English. So instead of talking to each other, they shoot each other.
I've been thinking about this. People in the U.S., I come from the U.S., people say that diversity is our strength. It's something that a lot of people, are talking about right now.
Nonsense.
I tend to agree with you, but I think, you can argue that it's the strength if you can bring a diversity of opinions or cultures or like different foods, and you can, you go in the States, you have Italian food, you have this, but it seems that you need to have homogeneous, not culture, but value systems. Like in the US, if you have an Italian and I don't know, a person from Israel, and they both believe in life, the values of life, liberty, property, then you can argue that diversity is a strength. But if you believe in completely different things, how can you argue that it's a strength? And how does that apply in the Middle East? You don't have that system here.
Look, the main idea of pluralism and even, multiculturalism is acceptance. When each and every side or every component of the society accepts the others and believes that they have the right to be others and to conduct their life the way they like and to leave them alone. Okay, this is the basis. Yeah. Without tolerance and acceptance, which are two sides of the same coin, tolerance and acceptance, you cannot run a diverse society. For example, the Indian society, very, acceptance is the name of the game. Tolerance is the name of the game in India. This is why India is a flourishing country, in spite of all the differences within the Indian society. When it comes to Muslims, acceptance is a problem. Because according to Islam, they have a rule in Islam, Al-Islam ya'lu wa la yu'ala alayhi. Islam is superior and nothing can be above Islam. Means if you're a Christian or a Jew and I'm a Muslim, equality cannot be between us because I'm Muslim, to begin with. Therefore, you have to cancel your values because of mine, means if I'm a Muslim. Because you cannot challenge Islamic values by openness or by all kinds of things which the West believes in today. Freedom for women. Freedom for women is unheard of in Islam. It's only recently they started to talk about this. A woman in many cases of Islamic thought, of the Middle Ages, which are still valid until this very day in too many Islamic societies, is that a woman is no more than a walking womb. A woman has no emotions. A woman has no wills. Nothing. A woman is a servant of the man, and her womb hosts his fetus for 9 months, but it doesn't belong to her. It belongs to him. That's why she cannot perform any abortion. To that degree. And this appears until this very day in the books of Muslim religious authorities. Until this very day, they based on this kind of discourse against women. So therefore, freedom of a woman is a subject to her father as long as she is unmarried. And when she's get married, she's actually moving from the yoke of her father to the yoke of her husband. There is no gap inside.
And can't you argue that Christian, of course there's a difference, but can't you argue that, like, from my understanding, Christians believe that you need to be a Christian in order to go to to heaven. Isn't that comparable to the belief in Islam? Not people believe that in the system, but they're not really internalizing. That's why you have moderates.
Look, Christianity had many issues in the past, many problems in the past. You can talk about how the Catholics slaughtered Protestants, the Huguenots, in France in the Middle Ages. Okay, the Christianity had a very dark ages. Like in Spain, they burned Jews if they suspected that they were not fully Christians. Okay, but for hundreds of years already, Christianity is tolerating anything else, any other religion. There are some missionaries, but they don't force anything on you. They don't impose Christianity on anyone. These times, moved to no end, to no return. Okay, so. But Islam, and don't forget, today in Islam is the 15th century. How did the Christianity behave in their 15th century? Okay, so Islam is rather young, or younger than the Christianity. That's why Islam is still forces itself on others, as we can see in many places. Or at least this is what they believe that they should do, because the world was created as one world without borders. Borders were marked by the infidels in order to fight each other. Once the whole world will be under the Islamic rule, there will be in Islamic Pax Islamica, means a peace of the whole world under Islam. By the way, they also believe that every human being is born Muslim, and his parents corrupt him by turning him to be a Jew or a Christian or infidel. Okay? So you should carry this in mind as well.